All right, so this is the first paddock that we run the pigs in, and I've showed you guys this before. They've done a really good job of disturbing the land in through here and getting a lot of this cleared. I mean, they've really got this opened up, and as you can see, it's starting to recover. The vegetation's starting to come back, but unfortunately, all the browse. Now, there's honeysuckle, there's autumn olive, there's multifloral rose, there is pretty much every invasive species that you can imagine is growing across this entire paddock, and actually pretty much all over most of our property. But the pigs they're not going to eat this stuff. They uprooted and rooted out what they wanted, and this is what we ended up being left with. Now, I talked about possibly doing goats before, but that would be the only purpose I would have for goats, is for them to come in here and eat this browse. I don't want to eat a goat. I have no desire to eat a goat, and I really don't want to. So I decided, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to eat a goat. What can I do? Well, hair sheep. Well, wait a minute. Wasn't I talking about putting sheep down there in the bottom meta? Yeah, I was. So I'm kind of on a tight ship right now. And the reason for that is just so many things coming up that I need to get done. And instead of taking the time that it's going to take me to get that bottom meta completely fenced in and all the work that needs to be done down there just for the lambs, man, it would take most of the summer, to be honest with you, with my work schedule and everything and the availability of, friends to help. So why can't I just bring the lambs up here, turn them loose in this paddock? I can put 3 strands of electric wire on here. If I put 2 more strands on there, they're not going to come through that. They're not going to mess with that. Why don't I put them in there and let them eat that browse? Because they will tear that browse up. And once they eat as much of that browse as they can up to the height that they can reach, I'll come in and cut it, lay it down, and let them continue to eat on it. Hey, there's a plan. And there's a full season worth of browse. And I'm telling you, a full season worth of browse in this entire, probably close to 2 acres, if not a little bit more. That doesn't sound like a lot of land. There's a lot of browse in there. So I can come in now in the next week or so and go ahead and overseed this. I got no-till seed. I can go ahead and overseed all this bare area that's starting to recuperate now. I can come in and overseed that, let that stuff start growing, because you're looking at a month or 2 before I would even think or consider about getting them in there. Probably closer to 2 months before I would consider trying to get the lambs and bring them in here. We got the meaties moved out here. This would be their 3rd day out here. They're all kind of hanging out. I got the heat plate there. Got a heat lamp hanging on its stud in the corner. It's actually clamped to it with a C-clamp on top of its existing clamp. A little wet in the middle there. I just filled her water and her feet up and stuff like that. So they're going to spend, they're 2 weeks old. They're going to spend another 2 weeks in here. If you look at the white that you see on their wings right there, that is them just starting to feather. And I don't want to, with the weather fluctuations that we're having, they're not ready to move out on the pasture yet, because I don't want to lose them. I want them to grow a little bit more, so I'm going to give them another 2 weeks in here. It was like 84, 85 degrees yesterday. It's 55 today, windy and raining. It's not currently raining, but it rained, a good bit of the night and the morning. So I don't want to expose them to that kind of cold and everything. So they'll stay in here another 2 weeks just for safety's sake. So far, so good with the chickshaw and the chickens. We're now getting grass-fed eggs. Chickens eating on grass, foraging. Yes, they're still getting a little supplement of their conventional feed, but they are eating, they are scratching, they are free-ranging, at least in their safety area here. And of course, this will get moved forward tomorrow. Both girls appear to be bred. We are highly, highly confident that they are bred. Isn't that right, Peppa? See, I got babies. I'm an Italian pig. Call me Prego. Coke's laying in there. She's being lazy. I just fed them about 45 minutes ago. They get fed once a day. I fill a 5-gallon bucket up full of feed, and I put it in bowls, which they like to tear it out and throw it all over the place. And I separate it between the feed trough and 2 bowls. You can see Boris out there. What are you doing, big girl? Huh? What doing? You say hi to everybody. That way they're not in so much competition for food. But of course, being the pigs that they are, they're always in competition for food. All right, so the plan is over the next, probably about a month, I got to get the girls moved out of here back into here to get them out there to the bottom paddock. All the while getting Pee-wee secured in here away from them and keeping him in here, because once the girls get out of here and into their new paddock, Pee-wee comes back in here with Boris, and I'm going to leave them up in here. And that way they have all of this. They're really doing a really good job up in here in the thicker parts, rooting out and everything like that. So this land has never been grazed like this, especially with pigs. This land needs a good working over, and I don't have a problem with it. And that'll give me time. I'm probably, honestly, I've thought high and low how I'm going to do the next paddock, but I think I'm going to take the next paddock. I'm going to go up, out, and down and encompass all of this really thick woods right here on this upper part, and just move him and Pee-wee right on out through there. That's probably going to leave me with a more realistic timeline, because there's so much going on right now. The contacts that I've made with the U.S. or with the Department of Agriculture with West Virginia, these people are phenomenal. I can't say enough about them. Every person that I've talked to has been great. Wealth of information, wealth of knowledge. And another contact that they just put me in contact with, not to ever use the word contact, is a local lady who is, everybody that I talk to, when I explain my motivations, we all have the same motivations for doing what we're doing, for growing our own and everything like that. And with the hopefully getting the greenhouse, that's really been a high point, because there's so much opportunity here that very few people are taking advantage of. And that's with the lambs on the bottom meadow. I mean, there's all the feed they need, and I mean, it goes. Why would I waste that? Why would I let that continue to take my land over when I can put a couple lambs in there and I can literally leave them in there for the entire season before I run them to butcher in the fall? There is no possible way, and I know you can't see on the camera here, there is no possible way the volume of browse in here that 2 lambs would eat all that in that period of time. If they do, I'll admit 100% that I'm wrong. Get off my teeth. Been wrong before. Still have episodes where I'm completely wrong. Ask the wife, she'll tell you. But so the time that it would take me to get that bottom meadow done, it's with everything else I want to do and I need to do. Need is much better than want at this point. I have to kind of step back a little bit and weigh my options and make my priorities. And my priorities are going to be, hopefully with the greenhouse coming, and then what I can do is I can take this pen where Pee-wee's at. So when the girls come back in here, oh God, wrong way. All right, I didn't mean to get that close. When I bring the girls back in here, I'll open up this gate right here. They'll go right down that corridor down between them trees to their new little paddock in the bottom part of the woods. And I'll leave that open so they can still come up here, and I'll actually put another shelter or 2 down there for them, especially a couple farrowing huts. But I can leave this, I can separate it right here, right across here from T-post to T-post, and leave this for the girls, because Pee-wee and Boris is going to have all this up here still. And then I can turn right around and make this an area for the lambs, and do a pallet shelter here for them as well. So they can have this to come into where their water will be, where their minerals and stuff will be, and then their little shelter, and then they can come right back out, hit down there and start hitting the browse. And as they eat, like I said before, up to where they're going to eat up to, I come in behind them and cut it, and they can eat the rest of it. Now, I'm not looking to quit my job. I've got less than 9 years before I can retire. I would be a fool at this point unless I could fall into a windfall. I love this work. I love this lifestyle. I love doing what I'm doing. And with the opportunities that's been presented, and the opportunities that are continuing to come towards me here with an agribusiness, little farm business and stuff like that, and the interest that it's already generated, the need that's already been identified, I can't not do it. And even in the end, it's not for me. It's for my kids. Okay. So if I can get this done, if we can get this done and get this worked out and get things done, if we get funded for the greenhouse up here, Probably next year I'm going to put in for funding for it, depending on how it goes. I may even look to get grants for the bottom meta down here where the lambs were originally going to go, and may put a couple greenhouses down there. So we will include it as a farm business part of processing and selling rabbits and chickens, selling eggs, selling pigs either on the hoof or through a butcher as hanging carcass weight, and any produce and stuff that we can grow, maybe even some berries and stuff as that goes along, because them berries, that berry bed, well, wow, we really got to give that thing some attention because it's just taking off, it's exploding. So, and I mean even potential to just grow. And so the farm business will be coming forth. Hopefully this week I can get time to get everything, get all the paperwork done and everything online, and get that part started. But I also have to get, fill out all the paperwork and stuff for on-farm chicken processing, on-farm rabbit processing and stuff. And who knows, there may be potential for a storefront here in the next few years, but we'll see. I'm just going to tell you straight up that this isn't something I'm doing is trying to find an easy way out of my job, or I'm not looking to get rich quick. Regardless of your beliefs or where you stand on anything, I'm being led. So I'll leave it at that. I'm being led to do what I'm doing, if not just for my family, but to help others, because this is something that we definitely need in this area. And there are people out there who need access to local raised, healthy, non-GMO crap, no pesticides, no herbicides and stuff. And that's how I want to eat. That's how I want to feed my kids. And that's how, if we make this a business, is how I want to feed other people. So that's what we're working towards anyways. But you guys, man, I can't tell you how flattered I am with the amount of subscribers we have. We were over 840. Really glad to see people joining the channel. Listen, if there's topics that that I do, or you want to see me cover more on, please tell me in the comments. Share this channel with people who are like-minded. People who may be interested in this kind of lifestyle, in doing some of the stuff that we're doing. Just leave us a comment, leave us a like, subscribe, share the channel, help us grow so we can reach more people. Because there may be potential that this channel's name changes to the farm business that we're going to create. I don't know if I can do that. I really haven't dug into it too much yet with everything else going on, but we'll see if we can do that. That way everything is cohesive. Everything follows the same thing, and that way I don't have too much confusion. And I think we're just about to get some rain here, if you can see that coming. All right, guys, I'll leave it at that before I get too rambly, but just know that there's a lot of excitement. Oh my goodness, I can't tell you. And I know I just seem like I'm exuding with excitement, but I'm just kind of tired today. But yeah, a lot of excitement. Looking really forward to a lot of this, and I can't tell you, just wow. All right, stay free, my friends. Freedom, that's what keeps us going. Take care, get prepared, stay prepared. God bless.